week, we told you about a missing senior in Rantoul with dementia who was found hours later in the same place she was last seen. A U of I expert says situations like that might become more common, and now is a great time to understand the risk. WCIA 3's Emily Braun is live in Rantoul. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Christy. You know, Kaiser Health says that about 4 in 10 people living in assisted living facilities have dementia. So she says what's really important to know here is that wandering off doesn't just happen when somebody is in the later phases of dementia. And she says that's why this case is a great time to remind people of things that they should be aware of. She says situations like this one might be happening more and more often because cases of dementia are up nationwide. There are about 220,000 people with Alzheimer's disease, a form of dementia, in Illinois alone. And she says those cases are expected to go up by about 18% in the year 2025. So stay with us as we make the switch to WCIX at 7 a.m. because I'll share with you some tips that she had to make sure your home is safe from your loved ones wandering off. Live in Rantoul, Emily Braun, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
So as we head throughout the day, we're going to see that area of sunshine that's around this morning. Still going to be around here into the afternoon, but more clouds later on into the evening. Kids heading to the bus stop this morning. 53 to start off, kind of chilly, then up around 77 with those partly cloudy skies coming in and mostly cloudy skies by tonight. Beautiful sunrise though for right now. Good morning, Champaign. Your Roofing Dog High at Bratcher Skycam looking beautiful as we start off the Friday morning time. And yeah, it's chilly out there with the upper 40s, but those numbers are rising quickly for us with more of the rain still off to our north and west, and no worries about that here at all for the morning or really into the afternoon hours either. And really, I would say the evening, we're still pretty much dry too. We have to we really are not worrying about good rain chances until we head later on this evening and heading on tonight and heading on into the day tomorrow. That's when the better chances will eventually start to arrive, and once they start up, well, the chances will just keep on coming throughout the weekend and into next work week. We'll show you that coming up in your 7-day forecast in just about 5 minutes. Christy?
Adam, thanks. Today is day 3 of the Brent Christensen trial, but yesterday featured his defense lawyers calling for a mistrial, but that didn't happen. Brent Christensen is accused of kidnapping and killing Ying Zheng in 2017. He faces the death penalty if convicted. On Wednesday, both prosecutors and his defense team told jurors that he killed Zheng. Jurors heard from an FBI agent who worked the case. The request for a mistrial came after a video played showing a U of I police detective and an FBI agent questioning Christensen. They claimed that because the video ended with Christensen stopping the questioning and asking for a lawyer, it could influence the jury's opinion. The judge rejected that motion, saying it didn't track, since his team had already admitted that he did it in their opening statements. The trial picks back up today with an FBI special agent, expected to testify. A Danville Taekwondo instructor is charged with possessing and reproducing child pornography. 61-year-old David Crawley could face up to 30 years in prison. Police searched a home on Sunset Ridge and found evidence of porn. They are asking people who may have any information about him to call Vermilion County Crime Stoppers. A St. Joseph man is also facing child porn charges. Nathan Ingold is charged with having and sharing child porn. An Urbana police sergeant says he found it while he was doing an undercover investigation. He was able to trace it back to a computer in Illinois that eventually connected to Ingold. Ingold was the president of Arts in the Park in Danville. He was removed from the board last week because of this arrest, and the board met last night to decide how to move forward. Greg Hillary was elected to take over Ingold's term. People in the trucking industry have some concerns as more states start to legalize marijuana. The Truckers Association says drivers will still be tested before starting trucking jobs, and they will also be randomly tested during their career. The American Trucking Association told members of Congress that legalizing pot is putting an extra strain on an industry that's already struggling to hire people. The association in Illinois says ruling out drivers with marijuana in their system will affect the workforce here too.
But we already have a limited pool of truck drivers as it is. I mean, we are concerned that this may limit the limited pool that we already have, make it even smaller to get more truck drivers driving our trucks. You know, the trucking industry employs 300,000 people in Illinois. That's 1 out of every about 17 workers. And so it's very important that we have good, safety-oriented men and women driving our trucks.
Industry leaders say marijuana will leave drivers impaired, and that absolutely cannot happen when someone is operating a vehicle that weighs thousands of pounds. No one was hurt after a Piatt County restaurant caught fire. This happened at Judy's Kitchen and Catering on Madison and South Streets in Cerro Gordo. It's the town's only restaurant. Everyone inside got out okay, but the fire was contained to the kitchen, but it forced the owners to close for the foreseeable future. Investigators don't know what started it yet, and Judy's has been at its current location since 2004. A building that housed the Fighting Illini every year will soon be filled with church pews and Bibles. The village of Rantoul is selling the building where the Illinois football team used to have preseason practice. It was called Camp Rantoul. There was a shower house, training room, and a place for them to work out. It's been mostly vacant since the team stopped practicing there in 2016, but now the village is selling it to a nearby church.
Now putting it into the hands of a church, putting it into the hands of a group of people who are going to take over the maintenance of the property, will make those types of improvements to the property, will get people back into the building. I think that's a fantastic opportunity.
The village administrator says once the church moves into Camp Rantoul, the city will use the old church grounds, but they have not told us about the new project they're starting there yet. New this morning, a Sangamon County intersection will be closed Monday for construction. The intersection of McQueen Road and County Highway 8 will be closed from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. Crews will be replacing a pipe culvert underneath McQueen Road. Officials expect the closure to only last one day. That will wrap up the morning show on WCIA 3, but coming up when we make the switch to WCIX for the 7 and 8 o'clock hours of the morning show, a workplace comedy and another sequel are on area screens this week. Film critic Pam Powell is stopping by to tell us about Late Night and Men in Black International. Coming up in Friday Flicks, but before we get to that on WCIX, let's get a last check of our 7-day forecast with Adam.
And we'll get a last check to one of our last dry days here for a decent stretch. Today, sunny, dry, those clouds coming in later into the evening. We'll see more rain chances tonight with better rain chances into your early part of Saturday. We'll see more of the rain too through Father's Day and then throughout a lot of next work week. Happy Father's Day. Hopefully you guys can get out and enjoy at least some stretch of the day.